Carl Eugene Watts, also known by his nickname Coral, was an American serial killer dubbed the Sunday Morning Slasher. He died of prostate cancer while serving 2 sentences of life without parole in a Michigan prison for the murders of Helen Dutcher and Gloria Steele. From Vancouver, Picton and his brothers were known to throw crazy parties that would last for all hours of the night at their pig farm. There's where he would prey on his victims. In the 1980s, around 60 women were reported missing. Jeffrey Lionel Dahmer, also known as the Milwaukee Cannibal, was an American serial killer and sex offender, who committed the rape, murder and dismemberment of 17 men and boys between 1978 and 1991, with many of his later murders also involving necrophilia, cannibalism and the permanent preservation of body parts, typically all or part of the skeletal structure. Hamilton Howard Albert Fish was an American serial killer. He was also known as the Gray Man, the Werewolf of Wisteria, the Brooklyn Vampire, the Moon Maniac, and the Boogie Man. A child rapist and cannibal, he boasted that he had children in every state, and at one time stated the number was about 100, one of the deadliest and prolific serial killers in America. To think that he just confessed to 48 killings in 2003, all women. He was the suspect a lot and even passed a polygraph test in 1984 and continued his killing spree. An American serial killer, she was a prostitute and was put to death by lethal injection on October 9, 1992. She was charged with killing 7 men, who she claimed attempted to rape her while she was working as a prostitute. John Wayne Gacy, Jr., also known as the Killer Clown, was an American serial killer and rapist who was convicted of the sexual assault and murder of a minimum of 33 teenage boys and young men in a series of killings committed between 1972 and 1978 in Chicago, Illinois. David Richard Berkowitz, also known as the son of Sam in the .44 caliber killer, is an American serial killer convicted of a series of shooting attacks that began in New York City in the summer of 1976. Theodore Robert Ted Bundy was an American serial killer, kidnapper, rapist, and necrophile who assaulted and murdered numerous young women and girls during the 1970s and possibly earlier. Shortly before his execution, after more than a decade of denials, he confessed to 30 homicides committed in 7 states between 1974 and 1978. He was a manipulator who preached religion to attract and brainwash young women with troubled histories. Manson gained followers, adopting them into what became known as the family, who all lived in a movie ranch owned by George Spahn. He killed 5 people and left 2 wounded in Vallejo, California, near San Francisco. The symbol of Zodiac was a circle with a cross in the middle. He sent letters to many San Francisco papers taunting journalists and detectives alike. Weird to say, but Ed Gein is the most influential serial killer ever to emerge from the underground. The inspiration of Psycho, Buffalo Bill, Silence of the Lambs, and Leatherface. The idea is that he was the original Skinner. His reign only lasted 3 months, but those were among the longest 3 months in history for the town Whitechapel at the East End of London. Of the 5 confirmed victims, all were prostitutes, though experts believe the body count to be closer to 11.